Hello primary 4 students, how are you? Welcome in your science class with me, Dr. Shaymaء Hamdi Qasem, and your channel, the Big Sister channel. As now we will study lesson 1 from concept 3, unit 1. Concept 3 has the title Light and Sight. So we know the word sight, as sight is one of the 5 senses that found in animals and humans. But what's the meaning of light? And what are the sources of light? What are the things that gives off light, emit light, as things that the light comes from them? Okay, so here I will show you some objects and you will tell me which one of those may be considered as source of light. Okay, and then we will discuss this. Okay, so are you ready? Here, the sun. So what do you think? Is sun is a source of light? Does sun emit its own light? It gives off light? We will see. Then we have the moon. What do you think? Does the moon emit its own light or gives off its own light? The light comes from the moon. Here we have another object, stars. What do you think? Are stars sources of light? Do stars emit its own light? They give off their light. Here we have flashlight or torch. What do you think? Is it a source of light? Here we have light bulb or electric lamp. Is it a source of light? And here we have mirror. What do you think? Is mirror a source of light? Does mirror emit its own light? The light comes from the mirror. We will see now. And here we have candles and fire. What do you think? Are they sources of light? So simply here we can say any object that emits or gives off its own light, the light comes from it, okay, originally. So those are sources of light, as sun, stars, flashlight, electric lamp, candles, and fires. But we didn't mention the moon or the mirror. Yes? So why? Aren't they sources of light? Yes, the moon and the mirror aren't sources of light. The moon looks bright and the mirror looks shiny, but in fact they aren't sources of light. They only reflect the light that falls on them. As you see here, the mirror reflects the light, as they are some objects that reflect the light. They don't emit their own light, as a mirror, and here as a moon. The moon reflects the sunlight, so we see it looks like it's bright. The light comes from the moon, but in fact it only reflects the sunlight. Okay, another example, look to this cat, its eyes glowing. So does cat emit its own light? It's a source of light? No. The eyes of the cat reflect the light. Okay. And we will study this after a while. So this is light and sources of light. So which sense organ in human and animal that's affected by the light? Yes. Yes. The sense organ that affected by the light is the eyes, as we can see the light. Okay. So how can we see? If you know that our eyes don't emit light. They aren't sources of light. So how can we see? I will tell you. When a source of light, as the sun or the electric bulb, any source of light, emits its own light rays, they fall on the objects, and the light rays bounce off these objects, reflects from these objects, and reach to our eyes so we can see the objects. So what happens? Source of light emits its own light rays, so these light rays fall on the objects, and the objects reflect the light rays that reach to our eyes, and now we can see the objects. I want you to know that if a human stands in low light places, low light place means a place that dark. It's not completely dark, but it is very dark, so the human can't see clearly. Human needs more light to see clearly, as to have a flashlight or any source of light to help the human to see clearly in the dark. So human needs more light to see in low light places. Or human needs a device called night vision goggles. As you see here, this is the night vision goggles to see in the dark. So in the dark places, in the low light places, human needs more light or to wear these goggles, night vision goggles, as these goggles help the human to see in the dark. And this is the night vision goggles. So what the meaning of night vision? The ability to see in low light conditions, low light places, dark places. This is called night vision. The ability to see in the dark, in the low light places. You know, some animals can see clearly in low light places, as fishing cats. As you see here, this is a wild cat or fishing cat. If we compare between the night vision in human and night vision in animal, human eyes need more light to see in the low light places or to wear the night vision goggles. But the night vision in animals, like the fishing cat, the structure of the eyes help them to see in the dark. So we can say that the night vision goggles that the human use may be inspired from those animals that have excellent night vision. As you see here, this is fishing cat, and I want you to know that all cats have the same structure in their eyes. So the eyes are glowing, as you see. They look like two flashlights. We want to know what is this structural adaptation, what is this structure in their eyes that help them to have excellent night vision. As fishing cat is a nocturnal animal. We know nocturnal animal means they are active at night. They hunt at night. So they must have structural adaptation that help them to hunt at night, yes? The fishing cat, its eyes, as you saw, seem to glow in the night dark. So this is why, because it has a mirror-like membrane at the back of its eyes. So what is the mirror-like membrane? A layer that found in the back of their eyes looks like mirror, so it reflects light. So when the light enters the fishing cat eyes, it reflects from this membrane, so allowing the eye to collect more light in this low light place. So the eye now collects more light, so it helps the fishing cat to hunt at night and to see clearly and to have excellent night vision. So we can say that the mirror-like membrane, this is a structural adaptation of the fishing cat's eyes is found in all cats and allow them to have excellent night vision to hunt in the low light places. And you may saw before cats that their eyes glowing in the night. You saw them before? Okay. Now we will compare between the ability of human and the nocturnal animals to see in the dark. We know some nocturnal animals like fishing cat, like the bat, like owls. So if we compare between the ability of human and the nocturnal animal to see in the dark, there are 2 points. First, the eye size and the eye pupil. Eye size in the human is small. Human has small eyes compared to the nocturnal animal, as we saw in nocturnal animal like owl and now the fishing cat. They have big eyes, okay? And the eye pupil in the human opens narrower. What is the eye pupil? This is the smallest circle in our eyes that is a color black. So this black circle in our eyes called the eye pupil, and this where the light rays, the reflected light rays enters the eyes from these eye pupil. So here in the human it is narrow, but in nocturnal animal, as you see in this picture, the dark circle, the black circle is big, so it opens wider, and this is why to allow more light enter their eyes. So here the human has small eye, the nocturnal animal has big eye. The eye pupil opens narrower in the human, but eye pupil opens wider in the nocturnal animals, and this is why to allow more light enters to their eyes. We have an important note here. Some nocturnal animals can see in the weakest light level, as if it is very, very dark, the nocturnal animal can see and hunt their prey or avoid predators. But in complete darkness, it's black. There is no any light. So how to the nocturnal animals to hunt or to avoid predators at this complete darkness? They depend on other senses, as hearing or smelling, that help them to hunt their prey and avoid predators. So when it is completely dark, the nocturnal animal depend on other senses like hearing or smelling. With this information, we finished our lesson. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next video, inshallah, and goodbye.